Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on Thursday the 4th. Just be aware that we are doing this on the Lasham Wi-Fi and mobile data out of my office. So the briefing may hesitate occasionally because the sort of signal here and the sort of Wi-Fi is pretty poor just at the moment for some reason. So what have we got today? This high pressure, if you've been watching the forecast the last couple of days, is slowly pushing in, and now it's bringing in northerly winds, northwesterly flow generally, as you can see with the curve of the isobars here across us. And slowly it's getting colder and colder. It's dragging the cold air in from the north, and it's also quite unstable because there's sort of fronts, as you can see on the midday chart, trailing down through here, and trough line out to the west of England, which has already got rain on it now, you can see. So as the sort of next 24 hours rolls on, then that sort of comes over the top of us and things calm down a little bit. Isobars reasonably well spaced, so it's not going to be howling northerly wind, but it's still fairly fresh. And you'll see that in a second. Again, 20 knots probably at flying heights by the looks of it on most of the forecasts. The TAFs are fairly short, really. Farnborough just saying 330, 10 knots scattered at 1,800 feet. And actually, it's probably that on the ground now. The cloud base is just a bit lower than that at the moment. I think it will be for an hour or two this morning until the sort of what looks like a sort of small band of rain clears through. And it's spitting here just at the moment. Upper winds are sort of, as I say, 20 knots, slight amount of west in it. But for all intents and purposes, I think it's pretty much northerly. It's being driven by the upper winds across here, down slightly from the northeast. And the sat pic shows clear out to the west. It's lovely out there, and there's this sort of cloud that's streaming really off the sort of North Sea with a frontal line, I think, in here. And the brighter white bits are actually rain that's coming down with that. Rainfall radar shows what we're going to get probably in the next hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, is this lot coming down over us. Heavier stuff here, I think, is going to be well to the east. But once that's through, should be quite nice, clearing up by the looks of it, and pleasant late morning and afternoon. Temperature-wise, it is not going to feel particularly warm. Sort of 6-7 degrees in here over us. I haven't looked at the Lasham weather station to see what the wind chill factor is going to be, but I would think they'll knock a few degrees off. It'll feel pretty cold out of the launch point, so it's hat, thick coat and gloves probably. And if you feel cold, come in and warm up a bit. Top meteo, don't think it's quite got the positioning of that cloud quite right. And they're showing over the Oxford area and coming down south towards us. It's perhaps a little bit more west of that particular location. And then that's 11, 12 o'clock. It clears up round us. It's quite nice cumulus. Won't be very high, 2,000 feet probably. And there's still going to be rain out to the east across sort of Cambridgeshire, Kent and East Sussex probably. Thermal heights, the area is unstable, and they're showing 600 to 800 meters, so 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet maybe later this afternoon. But I think it's going to be a chance of some local soaring only, really, or for those that want to be brave, go down onto the downs. I think the wind's just about right for the South Downs. northerly with a touch of westerly, which will certainly make them work okay. Not a perfect direction, but good enough, and certainly strong enough with 20 knot upper winds. Tomorrow looks pretty pleasant. Winds going back to a westerly direction. Nice over us. Front coming in slowly during the day, but it's not actually, by the looks of it, going to reach us until very late afternoon, 3-4 o'clock. We should see the front, so it should be a pleasant day. Lighter winds from the west, perhaps a little bit warmer, and then sort of okay for the weekend. Airspace wise around us, lots of little dots here, there and everywhere. There's quite a few firework displays tonight, and the nearest one to us is one that's marked on the map here, number 15, which is at Odium, but it's after dark, so won't be an issue for us. Other things of note, the usual Southampton hours of operation are slightly amended from their normal published hours, but it's still during daylight hours. Number 11 is high intensity radio transmissions from Boscombe down. Number 12, the danger area crossing service is not available from Salisbury Plain Ops. They've got parachuting at Little Risington and nighttime parachuting from Weston on the Green from about 4:45 till midnight. Brave guys jumping out of an aeroplane at night. It's not something I want to do. Right, and that's really about it. So fairly quiet. Operationally, I think we're going to be on 2.7 to start off with. We'll see if that will work with the crosswind. And cables will be on the north side, normal sort of winter runway operations. Cables on the north side, launch point vehicle in the middle, and then aero towing from the southern edge of the main runway. If it gets too strong, we may be forced down onto 3-4 to aero tow, but I suspect the ground is too soggy down there to actually have a winching operation. So we'll just have to see on that one. We'll work out how that goes. Jet movements. There is a flight plan been filed for an A319 that's coming in from Spain. It's 3 o'clock-ish. I think it's planned to get here just before 3 o'clock according to the flight plan, but around 3 o'clock-ish. It'll depend on the weather as to whether they depart, as they were supposed to come in yesterday. That's something to be aware of. I think if it's sort of slightly after 3 o'clock, I suspect most of us will be finished flying by then. Okay, so hopefully see you out there. I think we will just hold fire slightly on getting the gliders out of the hangar until we know where the rain's going, and hopefully it'll clear us. We won't be doing DIs and leaving them out in the rain. Okay, see you out there.